Hello, welcome to beginner yoga. I invite everybody to grab some blocks so that we can more easily access certain poses. And we'll start with seated breathing. So placing a block under the seat, coming into a nice cross-legged position. If you normally sit with one particular leg in front of the other, maybe switch your feet. So switch it out, looking to bring a little balance back to the mind and the body. We're going to start to ground down through the sits bones and lift up through the crown of the head. Tuck your chin slightly and bring your hands to meditation mudra. So we're just going to stack the hands and bring the tips of the thumbs together. You can close your eyes or just give a nice soft gaze towards the floor. Breathing in and out through the nose. I invite you to begin to notice the quality of your breath. Start to notice whether or not the breath gets stuck at the top of your inhale or at the bottom of your exhale, or anywhere in between. From here, moving right into three-part breathing. On your next inhale, begin to fill your belly. Allow your rib cage to expand and notice the chest rise. Exhaling, chest lowers, ribs hug, gently drawing the navel toward the spine. Keep going here. Continuing to use that three-part breath. Beginning to remove all thoughts. As we move through this practice, remember that your main focus is your breath. You should find effortless ease in each of the postures with a nice, steady breath. On your next inhale, gently open your eyes. Release your mudra and just place your hands on your thighs for a moment. Inhale. Exhale and just turn to look over the right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, allow your gaze to come to the mat. So you're starting to open up the neck and shoulder on the left side. Breathing here. Inhale, lift the gaze, turn your head back to center. Exhale, looking over the left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, gaze comes to the mat, opening up the right side of the neck and down into the shoulder here. Breathe. Inhale, lift the gaze, turn back to center, and let's go ahead and come off of the block. So come off of your block. I always like to shake out the legs a bit before coming to any other posture. So just shake out the legs for just a moment. Shake out, lift up through the heart, look forward, point and flex your feet a few times. And let's swing the feet around and go ahead and come into tabletop position. So in your tabletop position, you want your knees under your hips, wrists directly under the shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide as you look towards the top of your mat. Inhale. Exhale and draw your navel in. Inhale, lift up through the heart, look forward. Exhale, tuck your chin to chest, round your spine, tuck your tailbone. Inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, draw the navel in. Inhale, lift up through the heart, look forward. Exhale, round the spine, tucking chin, tucking tailbone. Inhale, back to neutral. We're going to do that one more time. Nice deep inhale, lifting up through the heart, look forward. Exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, tuck your tailbone, and empty out all the way down to the lower parts of the lungs. Nice, strong exhale. Inhale, back to center. All right, so this time, go ahead and tuck your toes under, and we're going to make our way into downward facing dog. So tucking the toes under, lifting the knees and pressing the hips back, pressing down through the heels. Our first downward dog, we're just going to start to walk out the heels here, looking towards the navel, breathing. If your heels don't reach your mat, maybe start to walk your feet up just a bit to shorten your stance. Keep breathing. Keep walking it out. And then go ahead and press both heels down towards the mat. Inhale. Exhale, draw the navel toward the spine. Inhale, look between the hands. Step your right foot between your hands. Go ahead and drop your left knee, shin, and top of the foot. Grab your blocks if you need them. So if you get here and your spine is rounding, then just grab your blocks so that you can get a nice neutral spine alignment here. So we've done this in previous classes. We're going to inhale, lift up through the heart, look forward. Exhale, press the hips back and start to open up the hamstring on the right leg here. Inhale forward. Exhale, press back. Take your time. Let's go a few more times. Inhaling forward. Exhale, press back. Inhale forward. One more time, pressing back. Come on, inhale forward. So we're here in this nice low lunge, thinking about pressing this left hip forward. Lift up through the heart, look forward, breathe. Go ahead and bring your hands back to the mat. Scoot your blocks out of the way. Tuck the toes of the left foot under. Lift the back knee. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Come back into your downward dog. Breathe. Inhale, look between your hands. Step the left foot between the hands this time. Drop your right knee, shin, and top of the foot. Grab your blocks if you need them. And again, we're just going to first start to lift up through the heart and look forward. Press your right hip forward and then exhale. Press the hips back, opening up the hamstrings of the left leg. Keep moving back and forward here. Just opening up the body. Nice, gentle movements. If your hips don't come all the way back, that's okay. Work with what you have. Keep moving. Keep opening up. Go ahead and inhale back into that lunge. Starting to press that right hip forward. Lift up through the heart. Maybe come up onto the fingertips. Looking forward. Breathing. Smiling. One more breath. Scoot your blocks out of the way. Bring your hands back to your mat. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your back knee. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here. Inhale, look between the hands, and go ahead and step your way to the top of your mat and come into a forward fold. Now you can use your blocks here if you like, or you can just allow the head to be heavy, the arms to be heavy, and maybe even start, if you need the blocks, you can bring them here and start to bend the knees in and out. So each exhale, bend. Each inhale, lift the hips, bringing the belly closer and closer to the thighs. All right, on your next inhale, lifting the hips, we're in that forward fold. Maybe grab your elbows here. If you have a slight bend in the knee, that's okay. Maybe a little rock side to side. Most of the weight you should feel here in the balls of the feet. One more breath. Relaxing deeply into your forward fold. Release your elbows. And on your next inhale, start to roll yourself back up, 1 vertebrae at a time. You want your head to come up last. So even keep the chin tucked, right? Just stacking the vertebrae feels so good. Roll the shoulders a few times. And then go ahead and come into your mountain pose. So in your mountain pose, you want to have your feet hip distance apart. You want to spread your toes nice and wide. You can put a slight bend in the knee. Tailbone will drop. Spine comes into more of a neutral alignment. Lift up through your crown. Arms down by your sides. Palms facing forward. All right. So from here, you're going to inhale. Fill the lungs. Exhale, draw the navel in. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Maybe look towards the fingertips. Maybe start to press the hips forward and come into a slight back bend. You don't want to feel any crunching in the low back here. So if you start to feel that, just stay looking forward, keep the hips where they're at. Then we're going to exhale and forward fold. So we're going to bring the arms out to the sides, start to hinge at the hip creases, fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Halfway, you want your hands just under the knees. You're going to gaze forward just a bit. Exhale as you draw your navel towards your spine. Nice neutral spine alignment here. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Or your blocks. Step your right foot to the back of your mat. Drop your right knee, shin, and top of the foot. All right, so from here, you can use the blocks if you like. All right, so we're back in that low lunge. We're pressing the right hip forward. Go ahead and inhale and interlace the fingers on the left thigh. Take a breath here. You can shorten your stance here too. If you're here, that's okay. So find your best place. Take your time. On your next inhale, maybe reach your arms overhead. So arms are in line with your ears, palms are facing towards each other. You're pressing that right hip forward for one more breath. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Bring your hands back down to your blocks. Scoot your blocks out of the way. Tuck the back toe under. Lift the back knee. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Downward facing dog. Look towards your navel for 3 breaths. Inhale, look between the hands. Step the right foot between the hands this time. Use your blocks if you need them. Drop the left knee, shin, and top of the foot. All right, this time, interlacing fingers onto the right thigh. We're pressing that right hip forward. We're lifting up through the heart, looking forward. Take a breath. Maybe inhale the arms overhead. Keep your gaze forward. Ears and arms are in line. Shoulders are relaxed. One more breath. Exhale. Frame the foot. Scoot your blocks back out of the way. Tuck your back toe under. Lift your back knee. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. On your last exhale, drop your knees, press your hips back, down, child's pose. One more breath in your child's pose here. Inhale as you look between the hands. Reach for the top of your mat. Exhale your ears in line with your arms. On your next inhale, come on back up into that tabletop. Actually, you're going to find yourself in a modified plank position. Try not to let the belly hang here, and you don't want to keep your hips up, but a nice straight line here. Bring your forehead to your mat. Shake out your hips for just a moment. Hands come just under the shoulders so that the tips of the fingers are just behind the tips of the shoulders. Elbows are tucked in nice and tight. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale as you gently press into your hands. Your shoulders are back and away from your ears. You're lifting your head, lifting your heart. Breathe. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale. Shake out the hips. All right, on your next inhale, we're going to, one more time, gently press into the hands. Keep the shoulders back and down. The elbows tucked in nice and tight. Gaze stays towards the mat as you lift your head, lift your heart. One more cobra. Breathe. And release. Shake it out. All right, so from here, gently press into the hands, lift your hips, press your hips back, child's pose. Relax your forearms, relax the tip of your forehead on your mat. One more breath. Inhale your way back to tabletop position. In your tabletop, check your alignment. Spread your fingers nice and wide and look towards the top of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, draw your navel in. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees, press your hips back, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Inhale, look between the hands and step your way to the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Take your time. Breathe here. Looking to bring belly to thighs. If that doesn't happen, maybe put a deeper bend in the knees. That's okay. Head is heavy, arms are totally relaxed here. On your next inhale, we're going to roll back up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. Keep your chin tucked. Keep your arms relaxed and heavy. Few shoulder rolls once you make it here. All right. So we're just working through coming back into our mountain pose. All right. Inhale as you lift up through your crown. Your knees are slightly bent. Your toes are spread nice and wide. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Draw your navel towards your spine. On your next exhale, we're going to make our way into chair pose. But in our chair pose, we're going to inhale our arms out in front. Palms are facing towards each other. On your next exhale, press your hips back as if you're going to sit into a chair. It doesn't matter how far you sink your hips down. What matters is that your knees are not over your toes. So you're sitting back. You're relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, and you're looking forward for 3 breaths. Inhale your way back to standing. Maybe shake out the legs a little bit. That's hard work on the legs. Come back into your mountain pose. We're gonna do our chair pose twice more. So really take your time. Really think about what you're doing here. Take a nice deep inhale as you bring your hands down by your sides. Your palms are facing forward. Exhale, draw your navel toward your spine. Inhale, bring your arms out in front. Palms are facing each other. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale once more. Exhale, sit back as if you're going to sit into a chair. Try not to arch your back. Tuck your tailbone slightly. Breathe. Inhale, back to standing. Shake out the legs. All right, we'll do one more chair pose before we move into our next posture. Find your mountain pose. Inhale the arms out in front, palms facing each other. Exhale, sink the hips back. Keep your shoulders away from the ears. Keep your tailbone tucked slightly. Breathe. Inhale back to standing. Once more, shake out the legs. All right. Now, turn so that you're facing sideways on your mat. So you're at the top of your mat. And instead of facing the top of your mat, you're going to turn to the side. You're still here in your mountain pose, and even bring your hands to your hips for just a moment. Inhale as you lift up through your crown. Exhale as you draw your navel in. On your next inhale, go ahead and step out into a nice wide stance. We're going to turn the toes out. So heels in, toes out. All right. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a nice deep breath here. Lift up through your crown. Exhale as you draw your navel in. Inhale. On your next exhale, start to bend into your knees. You don't want your knees over your toes here, so deep squat, keep your tailbone tucked, and then bring your hands to goalposts. We're in a nice goddess squat here. 3 breaths. Inhale, come on back up. Release the hands back to the hips. We're going to need our blocks here for just a moment. So find your blocks. And we're just going to, so that our toes are facing the front of the mat. All right. So we're in a wide leg stance. Our feet are more on a train track and less on a tightrope. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift up through your crown. Exhale, fold at your hip creases, not here in the middle of the thoracic spine, but hips with a nice long spine. Keep your gaze forward. Here's where the blocks come in handy. So you're just going to place your hands on your blocks here. It can be fingertips, it can be palms, but we want a nice neutral spine, best you can. If you want to bend the knees slightly, that's okay as well. Breathe. Each exhale, drawing your navel toward your spine. You're squaring your hips off. Breathe. Bring your hands back to your hips and inhale your way back up to standing. We're going to move the blocks to the opposite side this time. So turn toes towards the opposite side of your mat. So we're in that wide leg stance. All right. Feet are on a train track and not on a tight rope. Bring your hands to your hips. Lift up through your crown. And hips are square. So squaring off the hips here. Inhale. Exhale. Fold at your hip creases. Grab your blocks. You can place fingertips on the blocks, or you can bring palms to the blocks. Wherever you're at is okay. If you want to put more of a bend in the knees, that's okay too. Looking to draw the navel in, nice strong belly, strong core here. Breathe. Bring your hands back to your hips. Inhale your way back to standing. Turn back towards the center of your mat. And let's go ahead and come down to the mat. So we're going to come back to, let's come to seated at the top of the mat. I'm going to adjust my camera here a little. So we're here, and we've got soles of the feet on the mat. You're going to grab behind your knees and sit up nice and tall. Inhale. Exhale, start to lean back into the hands. Tuck your tailbone and make your way onto the back. Draw your knees to chest. Give a little rock side to side. And then inhale, press the knees away. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees. So it's like a butterfly position here. And lying down on the mat. So if you get here and this is too much for your knees, you can always bring your blocks under your knees. So feet are together. Maybe if you need blocks under the knees, they come here, right? Place your arms down by your sides, palms facing up, neck is nice and long on your mat. Let's take 3 or 4 breaths here. Think about drawing the low ribs towards the mat each time you exhale. All right. Inhale your knees back to center. Place your feet hip distance apart. You can move your blocks out of the way now. All right. So from here, we're going to make our way into a nice happy baby posture. So take your time here. We're going to draw the knees in. You're going to grab the outside of the feet. So here you can use a block, or you can even maybe grab the toes, the big toe here with the ring finger, and lift the feet. You're flexing through your heels and you're drawing the knees towards the armpits. Neck is nice and long on your mat. If you can't make it into this pose this time, that's okay. But if you get here and you're feeling nice and grounded and comfy, maybe start to rock a little side to side. Come on back to center for one more hug, nice and close. Inhale, release your grip, bring your feet back to your mat. And this time we're going to cross right ankle over the left thigh, so just above the knee. Flex through your right heel. And then on your next inhale, just gently press the inside of that right thigh. Breathe. You shouldn't feel any pain in the knee joint. So if you feel pain, just bring your foot back down to your mat, bring your feet out to either edge of the mat, and start to windshield wiper the knees. You can stay here, or you can grab behind, draw that left knee in, grab behind the left knee, interlace your fingers, relax the foot, flex through your right heel, and let's take 2 breaths here. And release. Go ahead and uncross your legs here. All right, let's do the other side. So from here, we're just going to cross left ankle over the right knee, so just above the knee here. On your next inhale, gently press into the inner thigh, flexing through that left heel. You can stay here. Let's take just a few breaths here. On your next exhale, keep your ankle over your knee and start to draw that right knee towards the body. If you can interlace the fingers behind the knee, it's good. Keep the shoulders and neck relaxed. Keep the left foot flexed. Relax the right foot. Breathe. Inhale, release. Uncross your legs. Bring your feet out to either edge of the mat. Arms out to either side. Inhale here at center. Exhale, allow the knees to drop to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, dropping over to the right this time. Inhale, center. And then one more time on each side, using the breath here. Inhale your knees back to center. Extend your legs the length of your mat. Bring your heels over to the left corner of your mat and cross your right ankle over your left. Reach down the side body with the left hand, nice and active. And then up and over with the right. So you can bring your right hand into a goalpost position, or you can totally extend it overhead. So whatever works for you, whatever feels good to you, for 3 breaths here. Exhale, right arm comes back down by your sides. Uncross your legs, your ankles, and scoot your heels over to the right corner of your mat. Left ankle crosses over right. Reach down actively with your right hand. Inhale, left arm comes up and over. So extending arm completely, or even coming into a nice goalpost position with that arm. Breathe, 3 breaths here. Exhale, slide that arm back down beside the body. Uncross your heels, bring your feet back to the center of your mat. Inhale, bring your knees back to center as you bring your feet toward your mat. Tuck your tailbone slightly here. Inhale the arms overhead for a nice full body stretch. Exhale, make your way over onto the side body. From here, gently pressing into your hands and forearms, make your way back into a seated position. So we're back on our mat in our cross-legged position. We're lifting up through the crown. We're bringing our hands to heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me for beginner yoga today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Namaste.